Yesterday was my birthday. And Chip Theory, whoa, came through. My Unbreakable pledge arrived yesterday, appropriately on my birthday. I'm going to go ahead and unbox it right now. We're going to check it out. Going to go through some of the components. It's going to be a low and slow video a little bit. I have a bunch of videos planned for Unbreakable. If you want gear lock, deep dive, synergies, all that type of stuff, I plan on going through it, maybe even some gameplays. We'll see how everything goes. Let's check out what came in the box. So this is the Unbreakable Hero Pledge. This is all new gameplay. I also got the playmat coming as well. All I need now is riffle, and I have basically everything. There's some promo stuff that I'm still missing, but once I found Too Many Bones, I kind of went crazy. I wasn't a huge solo gamer until I found Too Many Bones, and I fell in love. I know it's controversial. Some people love it, some people hate it. Waste, like premium, like the premium stuff for me is what makes this game. Pledge, there's some heavy duty packing in here. All right, first up, 40 Caves in Daylore. This is all the extra encounters. We have some chips, extra baddies. I think this is all of the stretch goals is 40K. So a nice cute little box. Unfortunately, I won't have use for that because it is going into a trove chest. Ooh, what is this? Too Many Bones crossover pack. I don't remember if I knew about this. Maybe these are just 3 cards, promo cards. We'll get into that. I'm pretty pumped on this gear lock here. Carcass. He is... What is Carcass? Carcass was... I think he was like the chef, right? He gets recipes. We'll dive into them, but this has been so long now. Baddies are back on the menu. Carcass, the survivalist gear lock, is never one to let the enemies go to waste. If he collects a baddie, you can be sure he'll salvage every piece of it, with recipes that transform his fallen foes into buffs and heal for himself and his party. Oh, that's cool. So you basically defeat baddies and then use their bodies or carcasses to do cool stuff. So I'm excited to jump into that one. This was packed with joy by SF. Thank you, SF, if you're out there. It looks like you did a pretty good job. All right, next up. Ooh, static. This Illubiant, new word, muscle-bound gear lock might not attack every turn, but when he does, look out. The first playable martial artist in Too Many Bones, Static can meditate on turns when he doesn't deal damage, allowing him to save up dex and unleash blistering attacks when the time is right. I have a feeling there's some chain lightning type stuff going on there. Excited about that one. So this one's probably the most interesting to me here. We have Polaris. She's got these little metal magnet things. I think you see them right here. She has these little metal magnet things that she has to manipulate around her board. She has a really unique playmat where the magnets are manipulated on. I think this is a pretty exciting, very unique. I think all these are all pretty unique gear locks. So then we have Rage of Tyranny here in the nice little box. Tyrants of Daylore have returned with a vengeance. Rage of Tyranny includes alternate mechanics and components for every tyrant in Too Many Bones and Undertow, as well as additional starting day cards for each. So just more content than 40 Waves in Daylore. So I believe this is all Undertow stuff. Have you seen all the Cyberon River has to offer? Think again. As 40 Waves of Daylore sails in with a host of new Too Many Bones encounters and baddies, all designers for the mechanics of Too Many Bones. I think it's just more content. I really knew all of this stuff during the campaign. I totally forgot. Oh, this is a heavy one. In the new box, standalone, Unbreakable. This is a hefty box. This isn't a cheap game for sure, and you can kind of feel why. There's just a lot of stuff here. So we're going to do a quick rundown of what the Hero Pledge included. Base game, Polaris, Static, Carcass, 40 Waves in Daylore, Rage of Tyranny, 40 Caves in Daylor, and then crossover loot. So we're going to get into these boxes right now. We're going to check out and see what's in them. For all you unboxing freaks, this should be fun. Where should we start? I don't even know. Rage of Tyranny is up. I just feel so bad. These boxes are so cool, but I'm just never going to use them. Pretty simple. Cards, dice, chips. Welcome to the Rage of Tyranny. Rage of Tyranny consists of expansion material for both Too Many Bones and Undertow. It contains 2 different aspects that can be added together or separately. New starting day encounters and alternate tyrants. So yeah, it's got a bunch of special encounter cards here, and we have. Ooh, I like to keep the loot secret. I won't dive into the loot. I really love to have that loot pop up and me be excited about it. And then we have Wrathful Barnacle here. Oh, cool. So it looks like alternate versions of all the tyrants that we know and love here. Duster, Drellin, Fuming Gendrix, Outrage Goblin King. Very cool stuff. Oh, like little scenarios. Cool. Shadow on the Riverbed. It tells you what you need. Undertow components, Barnacle Tyrant chip and die, 8 Tentacle Tyrant chips, Rage of Tyranny components, Shadow of Riverbed card, which is this card, Wrathful Barnacle Tyrant card, and By the Sea Die and Light. This is cool. Just new ways to use your old content. I love that. Very cool. Ooh, I peeked at the loot. I just love it so much. Just so fun. And we have some new chips here. It's been too long. Oh, I love these chips. So it looks like I have baddies for the backside. Has tyrant pictures, so I'm guessing they're specific to the encounter. That's super fun. And some of these baddies are 2-sided here. Awesome. Sentry. Oh, that's cool. Okay, it looks like we have a sentry, and then it turns into a werewolf. Very cool. Very good. So it looks like there's some mechanics here. We flip some of these baddies and they turn into different forms. We also have alternate tyrant chips. No, they're not alternate tyrant chips. They are tyrant specific baddies here, but then also double-sided baddies. So cool. Who knows? I'm excited to jump into this. And last but not least, we have some new die. Clearly new attacks, abilities, just fun stuff to shake the game up. So that's the Rage of Tyranny. We have cards, more chips, more dice. I mean, what else is there? All right, we have 40 Waves of Daylor here. We're gonna check out, see what's in here. More chips and cards. This expansion for Too Many Bones, Undertow adds more baddies and encounters to your game. Here's how to integrate the 40 waves into your game. Mix the new baddies in with the existing ones and create their active stacks as normal. Mix the general solo encounters with the corresponding cards from the Undertow. Build the encounter deck as normal. So yeah, it's just more content. And I have to be honest, I mean, I dove deep into the base game. I've Undertow, I certainly have more to explore, so getting even more variety isn't going to feel as big of a win for Undertow for me, especially now since I'm going to play Unbreakable. You know, I'm going to play the crap out of it. There's just so much content here. We're done with TMB. I mean, we're not getting any more content in the foreseeable future. That feels pretty good. I mean, there's so much there that you just don't need. I mean, I've unfortunately or fortunately turned into a fanboy for Chip Theory, and I just kind of had to have it all. If anything, just to support kind of a company that does business the right way, in my mind at least. Will I get to all of this? I don't know. So 3-point baddies. Looks like there's a couple, I don't know, I don't remember all of the attributes here, but looks like there's some new stuff here. Show you a couple of them. Couple random ones. Ooh, Cunning and Submerged. The Pantera fish. That's kind of cool. I think I know what to expect here, but we'll go ahead and open the cards for the sake of the unboxing, of course. Very cool. Yeah, just encounters. There's 12 new solo encounters, which is always great. I was just watching the Elder Scrolls stream, and they said if they had to do it over again, they would have made all encounters fully scalable from 1 and up, which makes sense. They've learned something there. All right, so that's 40 waves. More encounters, 12 new solo, plus some new baddies. Pretty straightforward. All right, this is, I believe, all of the stretch goals here. 40 caves in Daylor. Let's see what we get. All right. Same formula. More cards, more baddies. All right, this expansion for Too Many Bones Unbreakable adds more baddies and encounters to your game. So yeah, just more mix and match cards here. The deck box, pretty sweet. That thing's awesome. It's like, yeah, Satan himself coming out of the lava. I'm excited about the new mechanics here. That the lava map, the the flippable chip spaces, similar to the wreckage in Undertow. Lots of new general encounters here. This is just more, and then some special encounters, and then more solo. Probably another dozen or so solo. 1 of 1 Cinder. It looks like it's our extra tyrant that'll come in here. I assume we will find Cinder in the chip stack. Not going to be ruining anything. Not going to be going through kind of new baddie or tyrant abilities or attacks or anything like that. We'll save that for another video. We're just ripping into these things. I am a degenerate. I can't help but to get my hands on these beautiful weighted chips. They're just awesome. There is not another tyrant in here. Just 4 new 20-point baddies. Flame, Soar, and Gulf Flight. Some of those are sounding new here. Undead, Pollute. I don't remember Pollute. Stench, Reach, Daze. Here we got Flame Soar, Flame Soak. Here. Cool. All right, just more stuff. There's just too much content for this game. That's 40 caves in Daylor. New baddies, new encounters. Pretty simple. We have the crossover loot pack. I love loot. I don't know what it is. I don't even use it all that often. I just like the idea of loot. If you ever played a video game, looter shooter, anything like that, you know what I mean. Just getting the loot is fun. I don't even remember what these are crossovers from. This is fun. Convoluted Hummingbird, and it's just filled. It's just filled with text all over it. It's very convoluted. Let's go ahead and read it. Either heal yourself for 2 HP or deal 1 true damage to any baddie and each unit adjacent to the baddie. Single use. Yeah. Cool. I don't know what that is a reference to. Sorry if I'm missing that one. Command module. I have a feeling this is burn cycle here. Choose a backup plan that belongs to any gear lock on the battle mat that costs up to 3 bones. That gear lock may immediately perform the chosen BP at no cost. Oh, the chosen backup plan. Duh. What's that abbreviation for? Oh, gotta show you. And here's the art on the command module. Pretty cool. All right, we have Duskbreaker here. Roll 10. Oh, this is kind of cool. Single use. Roll 10 attack dice. Deal the number of roll damage to any number of 1-point baddies on the battle mat. So this is just like Destroyer here. Dividing it as you choose. Bones rolled are not added to your backup plan. So this is just like, I don't know, like napalm, essentially, is probably what I'd call it. But cool. Yeah, so that's the crossover pack that came with the Hero Pledge. All right, before we get into the base game here, we're going to go through some gear locks. This is what I'm excited about. I really like this. I'm going to be doing deep dive videos with all of these gear locks. We're going to go ahead and start with Carcass here. This is like, for me, the most bang for your buck. Oh, cool. I forgot about this. Here, you open it up and you get the Cooking with Carcass book. Soups, stews, snacks, sides, dinners, and desserts are the table of contents here. Pretty cool. Zelfie Root Hot Pot. Rejuvenating Agate Herbs. I mean, this is like, how detailed is Chip Theory here? deep wood campfire bread. Are these real? Okay, I guess they are. I guess you could make these things. Oh, you know what'd be kind of cool is to make some of these at home and review the carcass recipes. That'd be kind of cool. Ooh, then we have the beautiful dice here. Here's Carcass's chip here. Yeah. Dice. Nothing too crazy here. We won't really get too deep into Carcass. Ooh. That'll be in another video. Very cool. It's pretty standard mat here. Nothing too crazy. No idea what all of these do, but you know. Awesome. It's got a little meat hook here. All right. Difficulty is 3 out of 4. And solo is 3 out of 4. Okay. Excited to dive into this guy here. So he comes with a mat, comes with the dice, all standard information card. He does come with the Carcass cookbook. Looks like there's some real recipes in there you can enjoy on your next game night. And then I think the thing that's unique here for Carcass is these recipe cards. I don't know how they're used. All right, so like this first one here, you can see the back of the recipe card called Canned. Place baddie here has a spot for you to place the baddie you've defeated. Either deal 2 damage. So this is a single use power that essentially it looks like you get. You either deal 2 damage to a non-adjacent unit or reduce a poison effect die on yourself or an adjacent unit by the number equal to the defense stat on the cooked baddie. Interesting. So you cook them, you get to use it's like loot. You're basically creating loot for yourself by defeating baddies. So you really want Carcass up front, knocking heads, especially early on, to be able to do these. So it's like here's troll brew and battered, stewed, honey glazed, caramelized, agate crushed. And then this one's interesting. There's no spot for a baddie, but it's called gross food. So I don't know. That is Carcass. You get all this cool stuff. So Carcass, playmat, info card, dice, all standard fare, cooking with Carcass, cookbook, and then some extra cards, which I think is what makes him unique. It's his recipes. You cook the baddie, and you get to use them as loot. It's pretty awesome. Next up, we have Static here. It's our electric ninja or martial artist. I think there's some unique stuff in here for him. Static the Brawler. Yeah, there's some new stuff here. So Static, here's his gear lock chip. But he also comes with 2. I'm guessing he manipulates these around the board. We'll have to find out. Looks like electricity chips here. Standardized dice. All right, Matt looks pretty standard here. Got the burnt orange. Pretty cool. And then his info card. Difficulty is a 1. Solo's a 2. All right. Yeah, I would expect he's probably going to be a support character. When the description says he doesn't attack every turn, he's essentially got to charge up is what it sounds like. He's probably not going to be that great solo. You know, get Carcass out there up front, smashing heads, being able to kind of start cooking some baddies while Static charges up in the back, maybe. I don't know. Total guess. All right, then we have Polaris. Like I said, this was the one that I was most excited about. She has a really unique mat. She's got little metal things to manipulate with her magnetic powers. I believe I remember that the complexity for Polaris was the highest, if my memory serves. Gearlock chip. She's got I like it. It's cool light purple. And then you get these little metal pieces here. I'm guessing to manipulate around her mat. And so it's 4 of the same color pink and then 1 gold. Who knows how they use that. I don't think there was a ton of info on how these played during the campaign. I think it subsequently ended up coming out. I didn't pay too much attention to that, so this is a big surprise for me. So Polaris'S Mat is unique. It has this whole section over here that has spaces to manipulate these little magnets or these little metal pieces around. I have no idea how they're manipulated. Who the heck knows how she's actually used? Oh, you know, yes, complexity is probably fairly high. There's an extra information sheet. On top of the normal information sheet, you have this delve deep with Polaris. After each recovery phase, Polaris may delve. This does not take place of her other recovery options. The dice in Polaris's mineralist profession are her delve dice. Before delving, Polaris may remove any delve dice in her active slot that she wishes to roll. She must then roll all the delve dice not in her active slot. After rolling, Polaris chooses to either keep the rolled result or re-roll if she has the ability to do so. Complexity is probably high with this one. Difficulty is a 3 of 4. Co-op solo is a 3 of 4. So yeah, I think this is probably a fun, well-rounded character here. I like the complexity. I like this other little mini game that they've added here off to the right-hand side. Really excited to dive into this one. This is, like I said, this is the one I am probably most excited about, especially with the expansion gear locks. So that's our 3 expansion gear locks here. We went through all of the extra content. All that's left is base game. So let's jump into it. All right, this is Unbreakable. It's the base game. This is a standalone version of Too Many Bones. What is in the box? We've already unboxed all of this stuff back here. Now it's the bread and butter, the base game, everything we've been waiting for. New terrain mechanics, new gear locks, as if we needed more, really. I'll take them though. Oh man, this is a lot to pack in one tiny little box here. There we go. Check out artwork underneath here. Pretty cool. Full rule book here. I'll be diving into this tonight. I think it's a lot of the same, but obviously the terrain mechanic and maybe some new baddie abilities I want to talk through in there. I mean, where do we start? This is it's beautiful. I love it. I mean, it's like it's toys for grown-ups. Like, let's be real. Encounters, tyrant encounters. Pretty standard deck box here. I don't know how many of these I'm going to have to use in the trove chest. All right, another deck box. Special encounters. Have some more loot. Lovely, lovely. This is dupes of other stuff I already have. All the markers and the standardized chips. If you're a component nerd like me, the premium chips are an absolute must. The tactile improvement of having the weighted chips underneath your gear lock is just chef's kiss. All right, more die. I think a lot of this is duplicates. I'm excited to get all this stuff sorted. Standard dice. And then it looks like we have all of our gear lock dice. Couple colors, super light blue, and looks like we also have dark gray for the other gear lock, and then more attack and defense dice that I won't use. I did notice different colors between Undertow and my base game. I don't know, I think this is the same as the Undertow, where it's the lighter, it almost feels like more of a matte coloring. Then we get into our chips. Screw it. Let's take these out. Am I missing a gear lock chip? That's really random that there's one gear lock chip sitting out in a dice tray. Is the other one in here? Oh, I guess it is in here. All right. Ooh, a nice fat day counter, so it sticks up above your mat. I believe that's fatter than what I already have. I don't think they had that out before. I wonder if that was something in the campaign. Who the heck knows? Okay, there we go. And then there's Figment. The lighting's bad here. Very dark. And I'm guessing Figment also comes with this other chip, but I have no idea. no idea what that would be for. So we'll put that in here. Now it looks like we get into the new terrain chips. One side there is no lava, and then lava on the other side. I'm sure you get damaged once you have to flip that. I'm not sure of the mechanic that makes it flip, but all right, we get a pretty good stack. 1 point baddies, 5s, and then of the 20s, 7 new 20 point baddies. I'm always excited for some variety there. I'm not entirely sure who the Tyrant is, but it looks like maybe Dominia. There's 4 of the same back, but each baddie / Tyrant is different. It looks like the same picture. There's one named Dominia, and it's the same picture. We'll call that one Tyrant. I'm sure if you looked at the pledge and we looked into this, we can get you real information, but this is just, I'm just spitballing here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Not sure if these guys are tied together, but we got a couple of Tyrants in the red color. Then we have Nexus. I do remember Nexus. And then we have Cinder, which I wonder if Cinder is the quintessential top dog Tyrant. All right, onto the neoprene. Figment. Figment looks pretty standard here. We also have Figment's info card, a 2 difficulty and a 3 solo. So that'll be interesting to explore a little bit. I'm not sure about, oh, maybe he jumps around, I think. Yeah, he's a time traveler, so I'm sure he jumps around the board, which certainly would help with that solo play. And then we have Gale. I think we're using wind here, hence the name Gale. We have a difficulty of 1, so this looks like a really basic. I think this is probably the intended starter gear lock here, because it has a 1 difficulty and a solo of 3. You just wind to manipulate the board, all that fun stuff. And then I think this kind of the star here is the new terrain mat, where we take the new terrain chips, and now each spot is a chip. And we'll find out, but I assume there's mechanics to get these flipped, and you don't want to be on them when they flip. So pretty cool stuff there. And then baddie skills reference, very good. I'll be staring at that forever. And then a gear lock adventuring reference guide, same as if you have base game or undertow, you got all of that stuff, but I'm sure updated to deal with all of this. So that's it. That's all of the stuff into Mini Bones Unbreakable. This is all the gameplay content. You just saw it all. It looks like there's a lot of content to go through here. It's going to take a lot of time for somebody to get through all of this. You know, if you say you don't have enough baddies, encounters, solo encounters, loot, it's all here in droves. So I think I'm going to go through and review each piece. I think I'm going to go through and do kind of strategy guides on gear locks and reviews on gear locks, or maybe kind of quick start guides on gear locks. So I'm really excited to jump in. This is my favorite game. I'm a Chip Theory fanboy, and I'm going to dive into it.